Just go a little bit. Yep, perfect. And yep.
I heard you guys are buying the beer. Keep going. That's a nice fish.
It's almost bigger than you, Ron.
Don't say that.
Okay, guys, where'd you get it?
Got it out of Wicklow.
Wicklow?
Yep.
Tell me how you got it. Tell me about it.
We're trolling 85 feet of water. Downriggers are down about 40, and they went off. One went off real good and screamed about 180 feet of line in about 20 minutes, and 40 minutes later it was in the boat.
Did you know what you had?
Didn't know what we had. Not till we seen it about 50 feet out and came about, and see it come out of the water, and we just kind of slowly brought it to the boat, and when we netted it, that's when we knew we had a big fish.
When did you weigh it?
Weighed it, what time did we weigh it in here? Shortly after 6 o'clock.
And how much?
42.86 pounds.
And in relation to others, how big is that?
About 20 pounds bigger than the fish I ever caught, biggest fish I ever caught. So.
And what, both caught it, or how did it?
Yeah, we shared it. He reeled it in for most of the part, and I was the net man at the end. I helped him out a few times when his got a little tired.
If I can ask, how the hell did you get this thing in with a net?
It gave up. It rolled over sideways, and it just kind of came into the net and said, "Okay, I'll give up."
What's the biggest fish you've ever caught before, other than this?
I think 25 pounds. 25 pounds.
What do you do with it?
I don't know what we're gonna do with it.
And
Might go on the wall.
Forgive me, father son or how?
Yes, father son.
Oh, so that's beautiful.
Yep.
And where are you guys from?
Brighton, Ontario.
Beautiful. Is it getting heavy?
It's getting very heavy.
Tell me about that. What when you caught it, when you realized how big it was, what was it like on the boat?
It was pretty exciting. Come over here. It was pretty exciting. Grant was jumping up and down. I was pretty happy. We were high-fiving and missing some high fives and joking around. And Grant said he wanted a new truck soon when he turned 16. So he was pretty excited. We're all pretty excited. It's a fun family experience.
How long you been fishing for, Grant? Like your life?
Yeah, he's born.
All right.
We're new salmon fishermen. We've been fishing salmon for last year and this year only.
Oh yeah.
We were bass fishermen at the tournaments around Ontario and some in the U.S. and we decided to get into salmon fishing because it was more family friendly.
How big's the boat?
Did you name him? Come on.
We're gonna name him $100,000. We're gonna name him.
Yes. Wow.
Yeah.
Holy moly. Do you guys want to come just look at the fish?
Yeah, come get pictures with it.
You want to get a picture with the fish? These are my boys, Declan and Tristan.
Hey guys.
Do you want to stand on either side of this beautiful salmon?
Hey, John, tell me about, you're not typically salmon fishermen, and forgive me on tournaments. Are you a tournament person for bass and all that?
My son and I got into salmon fishing last July for the first time. We really enjoyed it. It's a good family outing. And I used to do bass tournaments a lot, and bass tournaments take a lot of your time away from home and stuff, and they're long days. And we decided to do something more family oriented and get into some salmon fishing. The wife and kids get to come out with us. My wife and daughter come out with us once in a while. My son comes out with me almost every time, and it's just a fun way to spend out in the water with your family under these conditions with COVID this year. And the last little while, this is a great way to spend time together, and you get rewarded at the end.
For this, tell me about the tournament itself. You say it's your second year in this?
Second year in this, yes.
Tell me about the tournament itself, if you can, like when it starts, finishes.
The tournament started last Saturday. I believe it was June 19th, and it ends on the 28th of August. You register for the tournament online. It's a great run tournament. The guys are very positive, and everyone's that I know in salmon fishing is involved in the silver salmon. It's just a lot of fun.
Last year's winner of the whole tournament was how much?
I believe it's just over 35 pounds.
So at this point, you're looking good.
At this point, we're looking good, but there's always a bigger fish in the lake. You never know till it's over.
What do you think about all this stuff, Grant? Like when you were, if I say the words again, I'm not a fisherman, so forgive me. But when you're reeling it in, did you know it was big?
we didn't know until it was about 50 feet out, and we knew it was about to be 40 to 45 pounds. It was a great feeling. Adrenaline was pumping. We took turns. It was tiring.
Was it tired? Is that right? How long did it take you to bring it in?
30, 40 minutes.
Is that right? And even then, like you didn't have a clue until like you knew that it was. In fact, again, forgive me, but I mean, did you even know it was a salmon?
We
knew.
we knew it was a salmon because of how heavy it was, and we could tell. But we didn't know how much it weighed. It was crazy how much it weighed.
For you and your dad, with something like this, once you got it in the boat, nice to share this experience with your dad and talk a little bit about that.
Oh, it was great. It was the greatest feeling in the world that me and him caught this. It was just the greatest moment of my life.
Where do you go from here?
50.
In other words, how do you like? That's right. What do you do to top this?
We're gonna go to another tournament, but we're looking good here. But we're just hoping we get that grand prize.
It's 42,886. Wow. That's what it's registered at. What's it now? It's lost a few ounces. What's that? 66. So it's 66.
Wow, my unbelievable. So, juste pour vous dire, le tournoi est encore on. Puis là, j'ai Robin ici. Robin il dit, Colin, c'est sûr qu'il gagne. Ben non. On l'a dit cette année, il y a du gros. Il y a beaucoup de tentatives qui ont été prises. Moi, j'ai 26, 22, 25.
I know Ontario, we're the biggest stock. We stock the biggest.
Well, and the U.S. also.
But the fin would be clipped, right?
Yeah.
I don't see a clipped fin.
Which fin is clipped?
I don't know. There is still some naturals in there. I know that. I don't know. It'd be interesting to see if it is introduced or. The head looks prehistoric, but just giant. Yeah. The head just like the body looks normal, but the head is just
Big, yeah.
in the tail.
So you can have it take it to a taxidermist?
They got to take it. They have to take it. They have to take it and do some testing. Make sure it didn't grow in the tank. Make sure it wasn't raised in my pond.
How long will it be here for?
I think Silver Salmon, the guy from Silver Salmon's coming down.
I just lost all my stuff in the mail.
Yeah, that's incredible.
It really is. So one of the big parts that we want to get is no one's ever gone to the lengths to get the age of these fish, right? So I spoke with some biologists we work with. The best way is their ear bone, but for us to get that record, that's as big as
I figured he'd gain at least another couple pounds a week or a pound a month, a couple pounds a month or whatever.
You might have
you're trying to get
caught the
my
lake
distance
record
dinner.
a month early. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But either way,
Potential, man. That's great.
Lamprey marks on him. He's old. Now, we're not talking about he could be a 5-year-old.
that's what we want to do. That's what
we
we
want
want
to
to
take
take
That'd
out
be
of you
awesome.
guys. And
That'd be interesting.
no one's ever gone to that. But now that we got some of the scientists that can figure. OFT.
Tell me about the tournament.
Well, we're the Silver Salmon Challenge, and the event was kind of built out of desperation last year during, as COVID hit, and you know, a lot of industries were affected, and the fishing industry was one of them. And one of our staple tournaments was forced to cancel, and as ourselves as stakeholders in the industry, we realized everything that's tied to events like this, economic wise and mental health, just it stimulates everything. So we did everything we could to ensure that there was an event, as Lake Ontario has always had one, and it's almost become the norm. You know, prize-driven fishing isn't necessarily needed, but it sure adds a lot more excitement and creates a lot more tourism, a lot more buzz around the lake. So this is our second year running, and we've gone a bit of a longer format. This year we're starting in June. The previous events were more of a July. We realized the fishing has been a bit more advanced now, and why not take advantage of it? And also it stimulates the economy that much more. Kind of landed perfectly as the government's opening everything up right now. Guys are getting out, and you know as well as everyone, we've been cooped up for so long. Nothing better than get out in the water. I mean, there's no better way of social distancing and with our favorite pastime of fishing.
Tell me about this when you heard about this, and tell me your
I was we do our announcements at the end of the day. So 8 o'clock we put out our weight. So we were kind of hovering around the phone waiting for our weight attendants to pass along the information, and we heard this rumor of a 44-pounder. Fishing rumors never tend to pan out to what they are, and this one sure did. It was pretty exciting. As Cobourg Marina here, their attendants gave us a call. We flew right out here as quick as we can. This is a big moment for the size of the fish. Father, son, start of the event. We couldn't be happier, and especially for the town of Cobourg, as we know they're so supportive of the fishing community now. It's a very good scenario, that's for sure.
How rare is this?
So, I don't know how in depth you want me to get, but
I'm a non-fisherman.
You're a
so
non-fisherman? Okay, very good. So, I don't want to go back too far, but back in the late 1800s, there was a natural run of Atlantic salmon came up seaboard and spawned in our lakes, and this was their home. We commercially fished them and wiped them out. So our lake became predator free as we removed the Chinook and the lake trout. So what happened was these alewives, they're a herring-like fish, took over. They ran rampant, and nothing ate them. So they owned the lake. So I don't know if you remember when you were younger, these fish would spawn, die, and wash up on shore. Quite grotesque, and it became a bit of a health concern. So we had to reintroduce a predator fish. So in the 70s, they started bringing in coho salmon, which was a Pacific strain. They weren't growing quick enough, and they weren't doing enough damage on the baitfish population, so they moved to Chinooks. Chinooks have bigger yields, they get larger. So to get back to your question there, it wasn't rare through the 80s and the 90s because there was so much bait, these fish could gorge their whole lives and grow. Since the bait fish population has thinned out, the predators has actually got higher. So we're kind of high on the predator side compared to the bait fish. So they don't have as much food to feed on. And 30-pounders are notable fish now. Last year, our event winner was 35, and that was exciting to see. We go back many years to the last 40, and it's been over 8 years. Don't quote me on that. So this is a big deal. It's funny, we had a 38-pounder caught in the day before the tournament, and we were all in awe with that. We thought that's a fish of a lifetime, but sure enough, it obviously isn't, and we're excited to see where it's actually going to go from here. If it's will never be the norm, but now we're seeing 2, possibly 3 fish this size. There could be possibly a lake record caught. This guy, if he would have lived his full duration, you got to figure he'd be up there. And our lake record is just over 47 pounds.
At this point, from what they were saying, it's possibly the second largest fish caught in the lake?
No, it wouldn't be the second. We've had some 45, so the record's 47. But typically a Chinook grows until he spawns. So spawning, they go up the river, lay their eggs, and fertilize their eggs. That's not for another 2 or 3 months. So this fish would have had another 2 months to pack on that weight. And these fish, they say it could be a pound every few days. So you can imagine if another month, it could have been quite an enormous fish.
But amazing during these times. Nice father and son, just perfect story.
Honestly, yeah. I don't know if you could script a better story. I will say we have many participants in our event that might be a little bit down today, but honestly, I believe this is the year. We'd love to see the 50, but I honestly believe, from what we're seeing, this fish might not be the top fish. This fish might not be the $100,000 one. So everyone should keep on going because, it's exciting and it just motivates you that much more to try to get something a little bit bigger.